Here in the United States, we have an election coming up in November. And, what happens if vaccines are sort of looking like they're promising, but they're not where you would suggest? But Trump, the president, comes out and says, well, yeah, we should make this vaccine work. It's successful. I mean, how do we avoid a whole bunch of people in the United States at that point saying, I don't know if I want to take this vaccine because I don't feel, never mind the anti-vaxxer movement, that's a different problem.
Yeah, and I think you raised a really good point, and it's a point I'm deeply concerned about as well. We already have enough challenges with people understanding and the science behind vaccines. We cannot afford to allow the development and approval of a vaccine to be further politicized. And what that means is that if we come to the point, which I hope we will as soon as possible, where we have enough evidence to support a vaccine as being both safe and effective. And what's got to happen is that we make that data readily available so that the public can see it as well, so that independent scientists can vet that data. And we also have to be very transparent about the process for issuing an approval, because the stakes, are high here. The risk of getting that decision wrong, and God forbid, pushing forward an approval for political reasons could be disastrous. And that could damage trust in the vaccine development process for years and years to come. And that's much too high a price for us to pay.
And a vaccine, I mean, I'm hearing a lot of people saying that the first vaccines that work, if we're talking about, vaccines for flus, they're also not silver bullets, right? I mean, they don't get everybody. They're not successful in all cases. So even once you have distribution, it's not like suddenly everyone's back to work and it's fine.
That's right. And some of the things that we're trying to figure out now is what kind of vaccine we'll get at the end of this. We might get a vaccine that helps some people, but not many people. We might get a vaccine that requires a couple of doses to get you up to a protected level, which will make the logistics more complicated. We may get a vaccine that does pretty well, but the immunity only lasts for a year, in which case people need to get it every year. Only time and the science will tell us what kind of vaccine we end up with. But the good news is that we have a number of vaccine candidates that are actually in advanced stage trials right now. That's good. We have people all over the world in the public and private sector working together to develop this vaccine. And it's happening at a remarkable pace, in part because of this collaboration and in part because of technology we have now that we didn't have 5, 10 years ago.